What did you think of it?
So
What do you think of this idea?
As with all of them, the action, obviously, the visual special effects get better and better. I don't particularly, I don't mind. There's too many Terminators now. There is the time travel of time travel, which does make every other Terminator film obsolete. As soon as you go back in time, pre Sarah Connor being impregnated, you've destroyed the whole Terminator timeline.
It also makes the series ongoing, everlasting.
Yes.
Because every time they send something back, they can change the whole story.
It's like fire
So
in my veins.
you're never going to be short on Terminators ever again.
not with the way they've done the timelines, no. Now we're in this everlasting loop that they even sending John Connor back. That was a nice little touch, nice little change to what we've seen before. Something I wasn't expecting to see, but I saw it in the trailer, so I knew it was going to happen.
So, okay, shall I tell you about my experience of it now?
Yeah, tell me what you thought of the whole film, the whole 2 hours.
Because you and me differ on one particular thing, in that I quite often go into films seeing things blind, not knowing a thing about them.
Like
and
Batman
whereas you
Superman.
you like to see the trailers, you like to know what's going on a bit. Okay, so going into the film, I didn't know what it was going to be about at all.
Get ready
So
to rumble.
I thought, is this a reboot? What is this every time? Always with the reboot. Is it a reboot? It is a reboot, but it's still a continuation of. It's a sequel though, but it's a reboot. I don't know. But yeah,
it's the reboot sequel.
So I didn't know what. Yeah, I didn't know what I was seeing when I came into it. And it actually starts off. It starts off in the future, which is brilliant.
As always.
It's got, this is the sort of thing we wanted in the very beginning of Terminator. We wanted to see a sequel where we saw the future, but we never got it properly. We just saw loads of shit.
We saw glimpses in Judgment Day, but you're right. We didn't see a proper sequel.
I mean the glimpses were good, but yeah. So yeah, it starts off in the future, and it's kind of like it's telling the original story. The whole thing seems to be telling the original story, and it feels like it's a reboot, and it's trying to cater to new audiences, which obviously it is in a way. But then eventually John Carl Reese gets sent back. Yeah. He gets sent back through the portal, the time thing, and that's all nicely
shown for change.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nicely done. Nice to seal that origin story sort of reboot. And then suddenly I get to see bits of the original film in the actual film, and that started to throw me a bit. I think, are they actually going to go in and show the whole of the original film? Have I been ripped off?
Paid my good money to Genisys.
They've just basically taken Carl Reese out of it and replaced him with a different actor. Is that what's going on here?
And Sarah Connor.
Hey, you!
Yeah, and Sarah Connor. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then then they've reshot. Then you've got the very first Terminator scene from the original, and they show that he's butt naked, which is pretty cool. If you like that sort of thing. Young Arnold Schwarzenegger's ass, whatever.
To make me invincible.
And they've reshot the punks at the beginning, which is cool. So I'm thinking, they've reshot the punks, but they've used the original Terminator. Are they going to use the original Terminator through the whole film because they don't want to age the? They don't want to use Arnold Schwarzenegger because he's aged. What's going on here? So I genuinely went in starting thinking, is this a reboot? What's going on? Then the moment comes, and suddenly you've got Terminator shooting the Terminator.
Always.
Huh?
With a shotgun walking down slowly towards him. And now you see old, current day Arnold Schwarzenegger against old Arnold Schwarzenegger, as in.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, what's going on here? They've just changed the timeline. How can they do that? I was so shocked. And I thought, wow, yeah, that's actually a cool idea. So this isn't a reboot. And that's when things started to change. And I think I would definitely endorse watching films without spoilers, and yeah, obviously watch our videos afterwards with the spoilers in it. Yeah, but you know, I think you get such a different experience from films when you go in there not knowing what you're going to get, which, you know, these days you almost always know what's going to happen in the film before you get to it. So. And yeah, I mean, you've got again, just like Jurassic World, where it seemed like a bit of a mix of Jurassic Park and Lost World in its ideas. Again, in this one, you got Terminator 1 and 2 villains in there. You've got the original Terminator, the T-800. You've got the T-1000 as well.
The Liquidator, yeah.
And then you've got the new Terminator, which is nanobots, which is...
Carl Reese.
Yeah,
This got nothing to do.
I mean, that's a great idea, because that's something that's happening now. You know, it's real technology. So yeah, that was my experience.
It's as a
Apart
whole,
from that, too much action, just loads of action.
as you'd expect nowadays. I think as an origin/reboot sequel, this is maybe one of the better ones out there, because it does actually do a X-Men Days of Future Past, where we do go back in time and we make it a better loop.
Yeah.
And also kind of destroy
things.
every other film that came in afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's brilliant, isn't it? Really. There's nothing else you can say. It's just brilliant.
And now you can make as many Terminator films as you want.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been executed better, by which I mean less fighty action and more of... I think, again, I was... Same as if you've watched our Jurassic World review, which you should do. If you haven't, I said that, you know, they could have done more with the whole idea of the genetics thing that they were doing. And I think the same is the case for this Terminator film, is that there were things they could have done, they could have focused on more. Oh yeah, that's it, there's the whole technology, well, the idea of the film is that Skynet is coming, except this time it's called Genisys.
Yes.
And Genisys is an app, and it doesn't explain why it's so awesome, because it's basically the same as all the technology is doing right now anyway. But the idea is that it's going to connect all devices, and that's somehow going to spawn Skynet, which makes sense in a way, because if all the apps in... If one app was on all the devices in the world and it could use that computational power, then it could create a better artificial intelligence. But I thought it could have done a bit more... You know, that's a bit of an old idea. I thought that they could have done a bit more with a sort of singularity thing, where it maybe, you know, evolved mankind, or you know, something was born out of that, rather than the same old story as a basic AI thing. What do you think?
I think you got to start somewhere, and I think sometimes they don't have enough time to put the deep story in, because they just want to see action. It's been as many years since the original Terminator, the classic, where he's actually an unstoppable killing machine, to Judgment Day, where we do see a visually stunning sequel, definitely visually stunning, with the special effects that were back in the day. And the new Terminator was just amazing. And then you got Terminator 3, which was kind of just more fighting. And so they're just kind of catering for the masses, so you don't have time for story anymore. Because you don't have enough time to execute everything.
Yeah. And again, same as we were saying in Jurassic World reviews, that people don't want... You know, people don't want story. Yeah, most people just want fights. So that's what they get.
Brilliant. So I give it a 6 for Terminator Genisys.
6?
And if I was going to give it a letter, it would be...
No, I'm not giving this one a letter.
Midway. It's midway between Terminator 2. So it's not.
I'm giving it...
It's not as good as the original 2, but it's better than the third and the fourth one. Salvation being the fourth worst.
Okay, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 because it is a brilliant mix, as we said, of sort of reboot and origins and changing timeline and actual sequel at the same time. Yeah, so I think it deserves a solid 8.
And got aged Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was quite cool to see.
Yeah, I mean Arnold Schwarzenegger was so cool in it as well. He's, you know, they've got him being the heroic Terminator that we know and love by the time you've seen Terminator 2 anyway, because obviously he's the hated death machine killer in Terminator 1, but for some reason we love him being the hero.
That's because John Connor sent him back in time in number 2. And we have that scene where they both come upstairs and you got T-1000 on one side, T-800 on the other, and you're not sure what's going on yet in Judgment Day. And he takes out a shotgun and shoots the other Terminator, and he goes, "John Connor, come with me if you want to live." And that's when you know he's the good guy.
We go, James. It is time.
It is time.
Do you remember when that came out when we were in university?
When Terminator 3 came out.
Terminator 3 came out,
That's when he said, "John Connor, it is time."
Yeah, fond memories.
I remember an interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger saying James Cameron approached him to play the good guy in the Terminator 1 film, and he loved the idea of having the Terminator as the character he wanted to do. And as they say, the rest is history. After that dinner date with James Cameron, can you imagine him being the hero?
That would have been awful.
Yeah, James Cameron said to him, there's only 30 lines in the whole film of dialogue, and he didn't originally want to do it, but then, he chose to be the Terminator character. And the world's most famous line as well, I'll be back. He wanted it to be something different.
I swear.
World's most famous mayor of California, whoever he is.
Was.
Sorry, am I behind on the times?
Yeah, well, he's acting now.
Is he the president now?
He's clearly got free time on his hands. He's made all these expendable films and other stuff now.
He's getting old.
He is. So brilliant, so that's our review of Terminator Genisys, out now.
Yeah.
Worth a watch.
Okay, the main points it loses is on actually so they were rounding up there, but the romance, the love interest. There's still a love interest between Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor, but it's very weak, and that's the same with Jurassic World. They're doing very weak.
But even in the original Terminator, he just fell in love with a picture that was given to him by John Reese. That's what he says to Sarah Connor.
Yeah, but the thing is, the original Terminator made me cry at the end for its romance, just a little bit. It's really heartfelt, and like it mixes, it's all about destiny and stuff. This didn't have the same magic.
No, I felt that way about Judgment Day when you see Arnold Schwarzenegger, spoiler there, at the end just lower himself into and die. So that was there's a cry moment for me, because he was a good guy and he had to sacrifice himself for the better good.
Just so that they could make more sequels anyway.
Well, at that point we thought there'll be no more Terminator because he destroyed.
What a waste. Yeah. Ooh, and since we're talking about no more, have you heard about this Toy Story 4 coming out?
Yeah, so let's talk about it after this.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Toy Story 3 was supposed to be the last one. They said it was going to be the last one. There was a huge goodbye. Anyway, carry on. I just wanted to get that out. Watch that review when we talk about it.
Brilliant.
And please leave comments.
Rambling into Toy Story.
These comments about Terminator Genisys, what you thought of the film, is it an improvement on the series, all that palaver. Cool. I look forward to reading those comments.